Welcome back to my channel, guys. So today I did this tutorial for you, this makeup. I was very nostalgic for autumn. I don't know, I just really want to be cold and wear leather and, you know, autumn colors. This is kind of like an I Miss Autumn makeup. It's kind of golden and orangey and autumnal. If you want to see how I did it, just keep watching. So I'm starting out with my Kat Von D Shade and Light palette, just using a skin tone shade underneath the brow. Then I'm moving on to my Sugarpill Burning Heart palette. I'm going to use the orange just through my crease. And I'm also going to take a little bit of the yellow shade as well and just sort of diffuse the edges. I don't want it to be like too precise or anything at this point. I just want it to sort of map out a bigger eye shape and really be sort of more blown out. You're really not going to see most of this at the end of it. It's just going to help the gradient be really, really smooth. Then I'm going to take the red from that same palette and run it deeper through that crease and connect it to the lower lash line there just to get that outer V shape going. Then on a 217, I'm going to take some more of the orange and just sort of buff it out a little more, blow the red out a little bit more. I don't want it to be super defined, but I do want it to be really, really well blended. Taking a little bit more of that Love Plus, the red color, and just deepening it up. And then going back with a big fluffy blending brush and making sure everything's blended. It's always good to do that. Then I'm just going to repeat the same color scheme underneath. I think I'm going in with Love Plus. I'm just sort of taking it down underneath my tear duct. I don't want to really follow it up. I like to sort of make the eye look a little more pointy instead of round. Taking a little bit more of that yellow on a 217, taking most of it off the back of my hand and buffing out the edges. Taking Makeup Geek's Bitten eyeshadow and a push liner brush, and I'm just going to take that underneath the eye, basically where I took Love Plus, but I just want to make it a little more crisp and defined. I'm going to sort of wiggle it back and forth and pull it down to blend it instead of being really aggressive with a brush. And then I'm just going to follow that line up a little bit and connect it into the outer V. And just blend over with a blending brush. And now with a Sonia Kashuk 112 brush, I'm going to take more of that Bitten eyeshadow from Makeup Geek and just sort of start stamping it in that outer V area, basically making sort of a diamond shape on the eye and then taking that through the crease as well. And just blending over with a 217 brush. Blending, blending. Okay, now I'm going to take a little bit more of that orange and yellow from the Burning Heart palette and just buff around all the edges and make sure everything's nice and diffused. You probably don't really have to do this step, but I'm crazy. And then there, I'm telling you, I'm taking a little bit more of the Bitten eyeshadow and I'm just going to deepen that crease a little bit more. Okay, onto the lid, I'm going to take this Makeup Forever eyeshadow. I think it's number 54. Just sort of like an orangey golden shade. I'm gonna rub that all over the lid. And then I ended up using my finger just to make sure it was completely opaque and as intense as it could be. And then I'm gonna take this sort of yellow highlighter from Tooth and Nail, and it's really sheer, but also it's extremely golden. It's called Locks. I'm just gonna take that all over the lid because it was not as fancy as I wanted it to be. And then I'm going to wet my brush and take a little bit in the inner corner as well. And then I'm going to mix Locks with another Tooth and Nail highlighter called Bone, just to get it to be a little bit brighter, a little bit more intense, very intense. And I'm just going to run that underneath the brow bone. I'm just going to hit the inner corner with that as well. Then I'll be taking a mixture of Bitten and Corrupt from Makeup Geek and just deepening that crease a little bit more, the outer V area a little bit deeper. And going back and buffing a little bit more of Love Plus over that whole area as well. Guys, I'm psycho. You don't have to do this. And there's the other eye magically done. Now onto blush. I'm using Milani's Luminoso and just taking it from the back and sort of popping it on the front as well. And then I'm taking Makeup Geek's Breakup contour powder, just running that underneath my cheekbones and then also along my hairline and into all of my baby hairs. Get out of there, baby hairs. Okay, and then I'm going to take that same mixture of locks and bone again from tooth and nail and just run that along my cheekbones and probably everywhere else too. It's extremely intense. They're also pretty soft, these highlighters as well. You can see, I think the snow falling on the screen is actually just like cast off from these highlighters, so it looks like you're living in a snow globe. It's really pretty. I'm going to take that along the bridge of my nose. I really like to bring this part forward of my nose because it goes back really far. Highlight the tip of my nose and then just calm everything down with a beauty blender and a brush if you need to buff some off. I'm just using the same brush that I use my contour powder with. I didn't really want a whole actual line, so I'm just going to press a little bit of Makeup Geek's Corrupt into the lashes and then sort of like blend it upward, especially in the outer corner there. And then on the inner corner, I'm just taking a little bit more of Bitten, it's a mixture of Bitten and Corrupt, just to crisp out that new tear duct area. And then obviously highlighting the Cupid's bow. These are Ardell 600s. They look a lot like a MAC lash that I can't think of right now. And then I'm just going to use Exorcism from Kat Von D on the lips. Filling those in. I really like this shade, especially with oranges. It feels very autumnal to me. I don't know why. And then I'm going to use a little bit of mascara and make funny faces. And that's it. Taking my hair down. Okay guys, so that is it. That is the makeup. Totally done on. I didn't do any liner just because I feel like lately I've been wanting to focus more on lashes. I don't know. Keeps my lid space a little more open. I'm sure I'll get back into my liner really soon, but for now, just doing some lashes. Anyway, if you have any requests, please leave them down below. I hope you're doing well, and I will see you in my next video.